Hello and welcome. Today, yes, by the title, we are going retro. We're going to have a look at all of my older Lego sets that I've got all the instructions for and the sets that are hidden away. We've got 3 folders to get through, so I have absolutely no idea how long this is going to take, so I do apologise in advance. We're going to start with the old school Lego Systems police station, so I'm just going to grab you, spin you around and carry on. I'm going to have to go at a half decent pace just because we've got so much to get through, but I have already got this one pulled out because this was one of my favourite sets from back in the day, and you can just see how different the instruction manuals were. So you can see you just had to put the old school police bike together first, and then you had to make up all of the frame. All of this now is usually just one block, so they just save on parts and pieces. So this was when you actually had to build all the chassis and everything up to make the truck, to make it all in. Now obviously the trucks have completely changed, but this is set 6348. So this is an old school set, and then this one is also set 6625, and that is the car and the bike that went with it. And then you have another set that went with it as well, so that's 6545. So all the bits and pieces that you're seeing now all linked with this police station just here. So they did things very, very well. Now when we get to one of the booklets with regards to having everything in, I'll then pull that out and then you can see everything around that sort of era. I've got multiple folders depending on how long this takes. For this folder and the next one, I might have to do this in 2 parts. I don't particularly want this to be like an hour-and-a-half thing, but in the comments below, let me know if there's anything that you like to see that built, because like I said, I've got all the bits and pieces hidden away that I can then build up, so I can sort of do a review, old school review on those. But also I need your input with regards to what will work in our throwback section for the theme park area that we are creating around us. Now, moving on and through, coming into this different Lego systems, you can see this is where they went a little bit weird and wonderful with the police stations, and they did do these in separate booklets, and then how they went to trikes from bikes as well. But you can see how much the trailer changed because it was just one big piece, and they just tended to use this for absolutely everything. So this was in sort of like the darker days where things changed completely, so you can see how much has that truck changed, and it's just one big bit and then you just shove the wheels underneath. So not really too much to build on that. They went very, very blocky for a while, so you can see the difference between the two. That's why I pulled that other one out, because I went from loving that then absolutely hating that, and then I think I stopped collecting it for a while after that because for some reason it just didn't appeal to me. I think it might have happened to quite a few people, because if you look at any of the Lego house videos that I've done, they then got back to their ways again and went back to their roots, and they started to change it ever so slightly and sort of make it a little bit different with regards to how you build it. But multiple helicopters, they're all the same, so you've got a couple of those, so that's set 6328. And again, I picked up some trucks. I think I've got 2 trucks of the same, and I've got an extra helicopter as well. And then you've got the bikes, and then we will have a look at the fire station. So this fire station here, it's a big fire station, but again, it's not as detailed as what the older ones were, because they had the roller shutter doors, I do believe. But this is still an older set. This is 6554. So they changed massively in literally a year or two, going from lots of pieces to kind of blocky bits and bobs. But like I said, anything that you want to see built up or pulled out or have a proper look at, let me know in the comments below. And if you've obviously got any of these sets as well, then please do let me know as well. I am hoping soon enough I can come to a fancy instruction manual, because again, there's a completely different type of fire station in that. So all of these sets, I used to have a big little Lego city when I was younger, and used to use it, just used to crawl around on the floor. But can we find a booklet with some of the bits? And here we go, that's what we want. So the rescue sets, let's get this out in all of its glory. I've got to be very, very careful I do not rip these. So this is the original Lego Systems Rescue, so I'm not going to try and rip it out. And I did manage to pick up everything that you see now. So that is set 6479. I got multiple ones of these, if I remember rightly. I got multiple hovercrafts as well, so I think I got 2 of each, because I just love this theme so much. Now this was the artwork that used to sell it to me when I was a little one, so you can see how they've done bits and pieces. And I think if you turn the page, they should have the other sets that were out at the time. So even though the rescue stuff was out, they did have some other good sets out as well, but the police station just didn't appeal to me. And then it was just after this that they all started to go this blocky, and I just didn't get on with it. But we have all the Team Extreme stuff to have a look at, so I've got all of those in there. I did not pick up any of the Western sets. I don't even know what that logo is. So if you know what that is, then please do let me know in the comments below. I have absolutely no idea. And then as we're coming around, I've got all of these sets as well. Can I pull that down? Yep. So I've got the Johnny Thunder sets, which was their equivalent of obviously the Indiana Jones, and then some of the Aquazone sets as well. And then you can see it's got some of the old artwork there for Legoland Windsor. So coming in to the rescue sets, we'll see how we can turn these about, because it's going to be a bit annoying because one's going to be in one way and then it's going to be upside down. So I'm going to have to keep chopping, changing and flipping these over, but I'm sure we can make it work and you get the gist of what we are trying to look at. But this thing here, absolutely amazing set, because I remember this thing coming in and out, and it was just good different, completely different types of things. They were much bigger, they worked really well. I think the price of them weren't too bad, obviously back then, but you can see I've got two. I think I picked up two of everything eventually. It was a bit like Pokemon back at the time, you had to collect them all with that amazing artwork, so I did. And again, two of those. And then you got these little things as well, and then that takes us on to these little race bits and pieces. So again, we'll keep flying through them. Artwork wise on that, you've got the old UFO. Never collected any of these. I've got one or two of those. So that's set 6442, and that is 6746. I did not pick up any of them. And then coming through and round, let's have a look at what else there is. So the old harbour, I picked up all of these, obviously because these are all the instructions that I've got, but anything extra, for example, that from the older Lego system or the newer, depending on what number that is, so that's 6518 and that's 6435. So yeah, I've put, again, God, look at me being all organised, put in, when I was younger, all the bits and pieces together. So I did have Method to the Madness when I was smaller, and then that takes us into some of these submarine sets as well. So you can see that is stamped 1997 for these things here. So 6442, that is from 1997. And then as we pan around and come down, you can see some of the other sets in here as well. So what do we have here? These aren't actually in, they've fallen out. What did this instruction manual look like? Because as it's not in, we might as well have a look. I did like the colour of the pages back then as well. They were always different background, so you can see how easy it is to see. You've got all the different animals, you've got the different sharks, you've got the big fish head, you've got lots of different figures, you've got the skeletons and everything. And then you've just got a little detail like that at the top where you've got the fishes, and then you've got more detail at the bottom as well. But have they added in, look at that, how bright that base plate is for the blue. Did they add in anything? Because some of them did, some of them didn't. Because what you used to get, instead of having the other sets with the bigger sets, they always gave you a smaller separate sort of bit of promotional material to actually advertise all of the stuff. Now Rock Raiders, what a thing this was. I have got everything. So we have got set number 4990, really short run of these. If I can stand that up, try and take the shade light off, there we go. So you've got the Rock Raiders on there, everything that you can see coming down. And then as we get a little bit lower, I have got one or two of the smaller ones, and I think I got one each of all the bigger ones as well. Now there was an exclusive that came out with this. I think it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which is worth an absolute fortune. But I was just about to say it as it's about falling through there. I think it's on the next page, it'll be the page after. I do believe they came with comics, so we'll have a quick look at those, but we'll also take a look at what else was about at the time. Like I said, it's not really the easiest thing to do. So the ninja stuff, never picked up any of that at the top, but if you want to have a better look, that is 6045 and 6093 for those. And then the adventure stuff, I have everything located in that. And then this is where the Star Wars stuff started to come into play. So these are the original numbers. You've got these two sets just here, so 7140 and 7130 for those. And then no recollection or no idea what this Technic bit is here. I can't ever remember seeing any of those. But underneath you have Fire, Ice, City. I think they're the Bionicle sets. But do they say that they are? But they've got the different logos for the Technic. So they were very different. Very different back then. So that is the way we need to be going this way. So you've got those two sets just there. And then this is really, really cool. So this is obviously mint. You can see how well I've tried to keep this. And they all had different ones of this. So this was from set 4980. And they just had full comics within it. So it just all told a story. I do believe this was one of the shortest running sets made. It was only out for like a year. It obviously bombed completely. But me being me when I was younger, I thought it was really, really good. And I have all of the crystals. You've got the big rocks, you've got the weird monsters, which everybody's got nicknames for in the lives that we've done. But you can see that I do believe each one of these would have a different bit, and there might have been a game at the time as well. I think it might have been an old PC game that came out. So you can see all the bits and pieces on here. And then that's just a better look at all of the sets that were available. And then that is the big base as well. And then as we come through, you've just got some other vehicles, all for the Rock Raiders. And then I think that will be the end of this folder. And then I will have to grab the next folder. But hopefully it's coming through on the camera all right. There's some more of the comics, look. So they're slightly different. You've got little teeny tiny ones. You've got a little tiny one down here. In fact, you've got two smaller ones down here. So these are, again, completely different. So they went through all of this effort for different bits and pieces, and they just did not do very well at all. So you can see all the detail. The artwork's really, really cool in them, I think. Got some nice detail in there. And again, with that as well, all just slightly different. But if this is things that you want to see in much more greater detail, I can make like a Rock Raiders history instruction manual and all that kind of thing, do like a proper retro throwback. But this is just sort of testing the water with you guys and girls to see if you want to see any of this stuff. So what I will do now is I will grab folder number 2. Right, folder number 2, and look what we're starting with. We are starting with 4559, the 9-volt train. Now this thing is pretty cool. If I pull this out, shut that, and then have a look at this properly. This is the first ever train that I got given. I still have this. You can see all of the minifigures that were included within it. You can see just how basic their faces are, but I really do like some of the prints on there. And obviously still using the Octan bits. If you know when they changed from Shell to officially Octan, which is their own fuel source, and obviously please do let me know in the comments below, because that'll be a good quiz. But again, you can see how the backing of this instruction manual is completely different to the other, and then just how you can make up all the carriages. And on the back they have all of the other bits and pieces that you could have bought just to add bits in. So you can see how you could do all the bits and pieces with the track, how you can do bits with the other Lego system tracks as well. So obviously you just got an oval shape with this, and then they've got some really nice artwork within. And that is obviously must be a different variation of a build that you can do, which I've never even considered doing or having a look at. So I have just learned something new, actually paying attention to these. I would actually imagine that they might have been other sets that you could have bought, but maybe not. Maybe they are bits that you could just do and mix up. I might have to have a look at that and see if we can do something different. But that is the set in all of its glory. That is everything that you got given within that set. Obviously, if you have it, then let me know. If you did know that you could do other bits and pieces to it, fill me in and let me know. Right, so we've got a slightly newer police station in there, but Team Extreme. So if I can get the shadow off, stand him up. That was the best way of doing it. So you got the dragsters. I just really like the effort that they went into making all of the artwork for these. I think it was a very, very cool thing. So you can see that you've got some of the Team Extreme bits dotted all over the place, and the zip wires worked as well. So you could actually have these guys just shooting down the rope, because some of the vehicles, like on this big one, which we'll have a better look at in a second, they had all of those accessories within. And again, on the back, let's have a look, get the shadow. You have got the rescue, so it's the same year, look, so we've seen all of that already. So that is all exactly the same. So that was a bad year for City, good year for everything else for me, and then I think I started to go a little bit quiet after that. But a nice cool thing. So if you want to have a look at that, it's 6584. Lots of cool detail on that. So again, like I said, you've got the rope and everything on the way down, just like you could do with the rescue teams as well. And these are all of the bits and pieces that you have just seen in that promo package. And then you've got some of the cool little dragsters. So they were, remember rightly, a good little build to make up. You had the cool little tree and everything. And then on the back, just slightly different ways that you could do stuff. So even then, they were showing you how you could make things slightly different. I paid no attention till now. So all of these are just different things that you could have done. So I would imagine if you went on the Lego website at the time, bearing in mind this was 1998. So I'm not 100% sure how you would have found that out. But moving on, you've got, again, more of the bulky stuff. So you can see how we're suddenly changing into this much more bulkier frame. Where it's just much more basic, much easier to do. They're almost like the equivalent of the 4+ sets that we've got now, but they just kind of change it quite quickly. See the different types of minifigure torsos for the TV guy just in there. And again, for some of the bits and pieces, I've got multiple ones of. So you've got the recycling wagon, picks up 2 of those. And then you had the old Lego Systems stunt planes. That's 6615, and that has recently kind of been redone, but that is a cool looking thing. And then the recycle lorry again, so this is slightly older, but you can see how you built all of this up separately. Lots and lots of pieces just to make up the actual base of the frame. This was a chunky thing, so I've had to fold it over on itself. You can see just at the top, just on that. But if you are spotting how the logo keeps changing, then obviously please do let me know in the comments below which is your favorite Lego logo, because this has now just gone to the Lego logo of the current day. We got rid of the Lego system. Now this is the Arctic set, so this has been going on for a long time. This has been sort of reborn multiple occasions. And as we pan around and come down, you can see you've got the older Arctic base, that's 6575. And then coming down and through, you've got all of the other sets, so 6573, 6586, coming down to 6579. And the last one, if I can see it with the light, is 6520. So lots and lots of bits and pieces to see. Now we have got some different artwork on here and a completely different train. So this is some stuff that I never ever looked at, never got, never picked up, but that's a lie, because I have those, because I remember taking some photos with. I just never got around to getting any of the bigger castles. But check this out, little pizza wagon. So this pizza truck has been going around for ages, and obviously with all the talks of different bits and pieces with regards to pizzerias and just bits and bobs coming in with the newer modular and everything, it does a full circle eventually. But that is set number 4553, and it did come with a couple of other of the accessories as well, so you can see just the other little bits and pieces that it came with. And then coming down, you went onto the Lego.com, so that was a thing then, and this is where they started to do all the games. So you had the Lego Racers, you had the Rock Raiders game, so I was right, so that was available on the PlayStation. You had the Lego Friends, which was only available on the PC. And then you had Legoland, which was also available on the PC as well. So you used to be able to go onto different bits and pieces. The Lego website would have looked completely different back then to what it does now. Right, if I turn the page to go the right way. So different ways of doing the bag. Now it might have some interesting artwork in this one. So if I put you down, I try and pull you out, there's actually 2 things I want to pull out. It'll be this one, and it'll be the next booklet on top as well, because this is the thing that I've been going on about for ages. We've gone back to the older Lego Systems thing. So if I just put a marker in so I know exactly where I am, and then that way you can actually have a look at these 2. So this is the Lego Systems booklet. Now this is the thing that used to be given instead of them doing their promo on the back. Now I remember that Octan vehicle very well. It's a good looking build, and that's the same year as I got the train. So as we go through, do you have any of these? So throwback to some much older sets. So you've got the Bevel. I've never looked at any of them. And then you've got the Paradisa sets, which seem to be making a comeback at the moment. They seem to be quite, well, they are quite popular at the moment, but you can just see how they very cleverly linked everything together. So as we're coming through and into some of the pizzeria sets and sort of like the escape sets, they've got them on the water, they've got all the bits there, and they're just out there, so you can just recreate absolutely everything. So the effort that they went through into the artwork, bear in mind this whole booklet is this. So this is the original police station that we looked at in the first folder. You can see there are some different activities that you can do. That was the harbour. You've got all the other bits and pieces within, and then again you pan over, and then you've just got all of the fantastic artwork within this booklet, and then you've just got the other little sets as well, and that's only page 5. There's lots of pages on this. Some of these I have never got. I have always said that I think this here was the best space shuttle that they ever did. So this thing here, which is 6339, and all of the other wagons that went with it, I thought was the better one, and that was at the same time that the big airport was out as well. So if you got, I think that's still the biggest airport to date, which is 6597. That came on what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 different 32 by 32 base plates. So I think that's a very large thing. But it came with multiple planes that you could do stuff with. So that was the 6615 plane that we had a look at, and then again you had the little Octan helicopter, and then you've got some of the cool construction crew as well. So again, let me know what you think of the artwork as we go through. Hopefully this isn't too boring. This was my Achilles heel, because I got that. Never got that because they were out at different times. Definitely got one of them. No, yes. So I didn't get the dragsters. I got all the F1 stuff, and I did pick up that as well. And you can see how the truck drops down, cars come on and off, and then you had an extra one that you could get, which was this number 4 that was not included, I don't believe, with that vehicle, because I think it was the red one, and then number 4 was a separate Octan vehicle. So now there we go. So the 3 vehicles on the top were green, blue and yellow, and then you could get the other separate ones there, look, separately. So they knew how to make you spend your money back then, just like they do now. Different trains from way back when. So you did have the passenger one, but you still had the cargo one. So that was the parallel train that I could have gotten, and they are all the other accessories that you could have got within that time frame as well. Obviously, I have got none of those, because even back then, I do believe this train was an absolute fortune. But you could have bought the separate power pack, and you could have got all the separate track and everything along with it as well. Coming into all the original or some of the older school pirate sets, if you've got any of those under the Lego system, these will now be worth an absolute fortune, I would imagine. So as I just pan round, again in the comments below, let me know if you want to see any of these in greater detail. If I've got the sets, I'll pull them out. But just a reminder, this is just the marketing booklet. These are just the sets that you could have bought all at the same time. Now, I still to this day don't think they've done a better booklet than some of these, just because the amount of sets that they're out at the time and the strength of some of these sets, I think, were brilliant. So if you can think of another year where the Lego was very strong, then obviously please do let me know, because the amount of different types of theming that they have. So this is the 2003 space bit. So this is the, well, however you say that, it's like Explorines, I do believe, and they had all of the cool different bases as well, but they made it out with the 2003 logo up at the top. And then you had some of the original model team sets, which you have seen in the Lego House videos. They were obviously what turned into the Technic, and then this thing now is worth an absolute fortune. So if you have one of those, which is set number 6991, which I do believe is one of the original monorails, then let everybody know in the comments below. And that Spirus, I have never heard of ever. I can't remember ever seeing that. And then just carrying on with some of the Lego Technic sets. So that is a amazing throwback to some of the much older Lego sets in there. Now carrying on with the Arctic, so this is back to the stuff that I do have. Again, they had some really nice artwork in their booklets, and then you just throw them all together. Can we just go to the back page that we normally do in our unboxing videos and just see the other bits and pieces that they have got? So lots of cool different bobs and bobs, and that is that. So that is everything within that. Right, let's get to our marker. Let's get through this folder nice and quick, and we've only got one more marker to go. This I can see being about a half-hour video, so I do apologise if you are still watching and you're bored. But that's the Lego System one, so we've seen that in that booklet. You've got the old school sweep. Any of these ring a bell to anybody? Then obviously please do let me know. That is the oldest set I own, I do believe, and that was actually at the Lego House in its box when I went a couple of weeks back. So that was really nice to see that thing. I think that's 86, I think. And then we got, again, see how it changes, because it now says Lego System, and the Lego font is slightly different as well. Got some of the different vehicles to work on. You've got the Time Crisis. Time Cruisers, I do believe. Sorry, Time Cruiser sets. I've got one of them. Why that's in there, I've absolutely no idea, but that's a very weird and wonderful theme that came out. Again, back to another hot rod, and then you've got the old 6646 race car as well, and that is the end of that booklet. Right, we've got one more booklet to go, so stick with me. I'm not going to lie, they actually all fell out the last folder, so just pick up some of the random ones. We have the older 5766 old school cottage. Then this thing, the exclusive Toys R Us Lego City for 7848 Lego set, and they've got brick count, bits and pieces on the back. They must have, there we go. So some of them did, so that is all the Lego City sets that were out at the time. You can see they have all of the smaller ones to bigger ones, boats, and then they have a nice large airport. It's not as large as the other one, and then they've got the fuel tanker as well, so you can see the different bits that were in there. So you've got the two different airplanes, Octan, you've got electrical wagon, the small little smart car, and the little propeller plane as well. And then that is what that thing looked like with a cool figure. I don't think it had an exclusive Toys R Us print on, and I'm sure they were both stickers. But if you manage to pick yourself up one of those, and obviously please do let me know in the comments below, but I might try and hunt that down for everybody to have a look at. Some of the older jousting sets, so you can see again the artwork on these completely different. And I would imagine on the back of this, they've just got how you do some little different bits and pieces and how you play the games and things like that. Brick bank, so you can see how much that's changed compared to the modulars of the time. One of the older space sets, so you can see I did have some of the slightly different logo to the one that I wanted, but that is the Lego System one. And then they changed the logo again when they went to the Lego City, and you can see how that's slightly different. In here, I've got the 9-volt electric system for one of the Formula 1 cars. Again, got some cool racing on there, and the fact that it actually says Formula 1 as well. So they must have had at some point the ability to use those kind of things. So nice to see that is there. And then the football team. So I did manage to complete absolutely everything apart from the non-coloured truck that was not available in the UK. I'm not 100% sure why. There were 4 trucks available, but only managed to ever pick up 3 of them. So this was all of the bits and pieces, and one of them was missing. So I've got 3 of the 4. I can't remember which one was not available, but if you do know off the top of your head, let me know in the comments below. But everything that you see there, I have got available. So I think it looks absolutely fantastic built up. I do have a couple of the stadiums, and if you had multiple pitches, you could then obviously make things up in a slightly different way. So I think that does look like it is a really nice looking display. We've got a slightly newer modern speedboat, a newer bank vehicle. I managed to get that out and actually build that up, because I've actually got this one currently outside of the Brick Bank modular. Old school recycling, so that's always a nice set to try and hunt down and find. That is just a random video thing that's in there. Slightly newer police car. There you can see again how these have changed. A different bank, different police station. We have, what else have we got in here? We've got anything that's slightly older. Lego City, more fire, big chunky police, space rocket. No, doesn't look like we have. So that is basically, there's the other part of the exclusive. It's the Toys R Us shop, and you don't have any exclusive figures with regards to the torso print on that one, but it is quite a cool thing. Anything on the back? No, so it's just the shop and the truck that was in that. So like I said, there are multiple folders available. That is just 3. I know this has gone on for like just over 20 minutes, and I don't want to be wasting everybody's time. This might completely bomb and flop and nobody will see it. But if you do want to see any of these things built up, I said let me know in the comments below. I've got them all in boxes. The amount of boxes that I've got are absolutely filthy. They're all in big cardboard boxes, built but smashed, but all grouped together. And we have got a 2.5 maybe table space free for a throwback section. So any of these sets that you can think of that might work. If not, I could potentially start putting bits and pieces underneath the table, maybe, and then we can go from there. But it's all slowly starting to come together. But guys, that's it. I'm done. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. You've enjoyed some of the throwback bits and pieces for the retro sets. But as always, if you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I'll see you next one. Ta-da.